Thank you. This is a great group of people. How many people, want to plow through? Normally, every other group you go to, everybody wants a break, and it's just a real pleasure to be here. Most people here, if you've seen me before, I'm the heartbeat girl. I'm going to tell you that if a heartbeat's detected, the baby's protected if we pass the heartbeat bill. You've heard me say it probably before. I've said it a million times. We introduced it in 2011, and we did everything humanly possible that we could possibly do to get this bill through. I had slides, but I don't even have time to show you. The 5,000 red heart helium balloons we delivered to the House. The 2,200 red roses we delivered to the Senate. The teddy bears with beating hearts. We did television, we did radio, we did direct mail. They weren't too fond of it. But we have been pounding on the door to get the heartbeat bill through. And as I think it was Ted that said, we've got a Republican governor, a Republican speaker, a Republican president of the Senate, and they've been running on pro-life promises for decades, and we give them the opportunity to end abortion, and they say no? Are you kidding me? I think what we need to do is realize what we elected them to do. I used to pass out back when I was a lobbyist for Ohio Right to Life, back when they were pro-life. I remember delivering to legislators the role of government. And the role of government, as Thomas Jefferson said, is to care for human life, not its destruction. It's the first and only legitimate object of good government. That's what Jefferson said. That's why they're there. We elected them to care for human life, to care for our liberty, and they're not doing their jobs. What's happening now, thank you. I care for every issue that's being discussed here today. Every speaker, and that's the next one, I'm like, yeah, I don't want a bike path through my living room. Yeah, I want voter ID. Yeah, and every single thing, that workplace freedom, and life, of course, is a prerequisite to every other issue and every other right we have, right? We have literally fasted, we have prayed we're now in the 4th year of this, and I've just been asking God every night for wisdom. What is it? What is it? What can we do? What can we do? Here's what I believe He's given me. It's this. They're not listening to just the heartbeat crowd. They're not listening to just the anti-Common Core people. They're not listening to just the property people, the workplace freedom, the voter rights, the precinct projects. They're not listening to any of us individually. I think what we need to do is follow the example in the Bible, act like the body of Christ, and join together and work together, which is why I'm so thrilled that I didn't trip. I'm very thrilled about that. But I'm so thrilled that you all have pulled this thing together. But here's what I'm asking. Could we not take this to the next step? I have reserved the State House for yet another rally. Yes, we've had rallies inside and outside. We've had the 3-story helium, the 3-story balloon that says pass the heartbeat bill. Now, we've done everything there is to do, but we've not done it together. What if we join together on September 17th when the legislature comes back, and we join together on the High Street side of the State House? Not just the heartbeat people, not just those fighting Common Core, not just the property rights people, not just the Tea Parties, but all of us together. And we send a message to the governor who can see us from his office. And we say to them that essentially we've been the cheapest date in town for too long. What happens is, and it's interesting because I put yet another request to meet with Governor Kasich. I just sent it this last week. And it really dawned on me because I was trying to tell the girl that does the scheduling, hey, he might want to meet with me. I used to know him. I actually used to be a spokesperson when he was chairman of the House Budget Committee. He sent me out as a volunteer on candidates' nights. I'd debate his opponent for him. He trusted me with that. And so I said, well, by the way, when I ran for State Central Committee against the secretary of the party and won, John Kasich endorsed me. John Kasich supported me. I said, by the way, when he was guest hosting on O'Reilly, I was his guest. Maybe, just maybe, he'll meet with me. Well, this is a guy that used to call me on the cell phone, now doesn't return my calls. You know what this is like. And here's what it comes down to. You know what's more important than access? Results. I give up access for results any day. And what if we band together and say, you know what, you're not going to take us for granted anymore. You've been doing that for over 4 decades, and we're not going to have it anymore. If you want our vote, you will do what we elected you to do. I was talking to a state rep, I was talking to Jim Beakey, and I said, Jim, let me ask you something. If you had an employee, and this employee you hired doesn't do what you hired them to do, would you renew their contract for 4 more years? Oh, well, they might get a worse employee. Oh, well, you know what? God said it's better for you to be hot or cold. We've got lukewarm government. And I think it's time we spew them out, man. If they're not willing to do what we elected them to do, let's replace them. So this is very hard for me to say, because I used to be in Right to Life. I used to be in the Republican State Central Committee. I used to be close to the governor. But you know what? It's time now we say, either you do the job we hired you to do, or we're no longer going to vote for you. And so what if... Here's what I want to know. I want to know if let's just say this, I dream of these things. What if we put together, and I need to find somebody, and I've got a couple of different quotes, I need somebody that can do those, you know those animated videos with the topography that move all around? Somebody's got a friend that can do this. Somebody here knows somebody that can do this. Here's the ad. It's the guy that says, you know, if you hired your employee and he didn't, you got the employee going, I'm not doing anything. Would you renew his contract? And make clear that we hired John Kasich, and we ask him, we need him to make good on his pro-life promise, to defend life, to defend children from federal indoctrination, to keep bike paths from going through our living room. I don't know what the 3 or 4 issues we join together to say life, education, and liberty, whatever it is. But we need to put together a little 2 to 3 minute video. Here's the plan. You in on this? This is not for your newsletter yet. But we put this thing together, and we have at the end of it a zillion Tea Party groups from every county, every liberty group, every pro-life, every pro-family group that wants to be on this, paid for by the Citizens for, Conservative Coalition for Results, whatever it is. We, the people who employ you, yeah, we sign it. And this scrolls like a movie. All these groups. Every one of us has an email list, and they're thousands long, right? So then we add in this little 2-minute video that we want to raise money to put the 1-minute version of this on the Fox affiliate. Why Fox? Used to work for Fox. I just think that's a little extra zing. But here's the I'm not cruel. What I think is we say, well, I just want to leak this and say, you know what, Governor? We really need you to make good. We need the heartbeat bill. We need to repeal Common Core, and we need property rights. Whatever it is we decide together, we say we want this before November 4. We're meeting with you, an employee, and I'm giving you a warning of your job evaluation that you're about to be kicked out if you don't do what we elected and hired you to do. God. If you're interested in this, what I'd like you to do, I'm going to hand out a flyer that has a save the date. It's September 17th. It's a Wednesday. We're going to pray from 10 to 12, and we're going to have the rally at 12. And then at 1 o'clock, we're going to talk to the press while we send everybody who comes to our rally directly to John Kasich's office. Why Kasich's office? Because Faber's not on the ballot and Batch is out. Bill Batchelder's no longer running. Well, what I believe is John Kasich is the only guy that can get this done. And by the way, in this, you'll like it. You'll like this video. It's going to be like a governor who wants to get things done can say, I need that bill on my desk, Senator, or this is priority 1, But he, John Kasich's got his fingers in his ears, doesn't want to hear the cries of 26,000 babies. He doesn't want to hear from us, who we are the people who employed him. So we send them. I'm not even sure all the pieces yet, but we come together as a group. Maybe it's a great big We the People scroll, and everybody there signs it, and we deliver it. I don't know if it's postcards or whatever it is, but if you're interested in this, I'm going to give you a flyer, but what I'd really like you to do is sign up and be a part of this committee to put this thing together, because it's not just Heartbeat, and it's not just any one of us, but together I believe we can do this. And here is, anybody interested? Let me see a show of hands. How many people think if we work together we could actually have a shot at this? Anybody in on this idea? That's what I need to know. I'll start over here. If you want to sign up, just give me your name, email, phone, and let me tell you what I've put together. While tomorrow, Facebook employees are gathering to go march at the Gay Pride Parade in San Francisco, I'm not kidding. There were 2,000 in the last Gay Pride event. While they're censoring you, while they kick people off who happen to have an unpopular belief, like being in favor of marriage, buddy of mine, Peter LaBarbera, Americans for Truth, taken off Facebook. They're censoring things, and I'm not saying we shouldn't use it, but I think there's a better way. We have now pre-launched. Nobody knows about this yet, but I'm telling you guys because there's nobody I'd rather use this tool than you. It's Reagan Book. It's the email. It's the Facebook for patriots. We're tearing down walls, get it? We're tearing down walls of tyranny, of censorship, and we're not going to use your name and sell it to the NSA or to advertisers. We're going to let us communicate where you can post where your event is, what it is, and what you're going to do. And so that's the idea. If you're interested in that, raise your hand. We'll get you one of these flyers. You see, Paul, you see where they're going. You can get these. And by the way, I'm making this offer. This is the only time I've ever done this. I'm giving away a free book to those who join us in Operation Persistent Widow. That means that you actually call all these reps, ask them to sign the discharge petition, but I'm going to make it a little, I know that's hard to do, and I know people are weary. So I'm just saying, call them once a week, call Kasich every day, and I'll give you a book in the back. We have time to take a couple questions. By the way, I'll just give you another little aside. We are producing a documentary film we'll be releasing in the fall. It's called Light Wins. It's because no matter how overwhelming the darkness may be, in the battle between darkness and light wins. We're going to let people know that, and we'll release that on Marriage and Fall. Yes, go ahead, Cheryl. We'll take a couple questions. Yes, an app. Thank you for saying. Where's Todd Osborne? Todd, where are you? There he is in the back. Can we show that up there? You can actually, what the greatest thing about this app, we're going high tech now. Faith Action is going high tech. All the reps are on this app. I can't see it, but over here. Okay. Where you can download it on heartbeatbill.net or f2a.org. You can download this app. What's the coolest thing is you don't have to dial it. So when I'm driving back from Columbus, I just hit the numbers. Yeah, we need you to sign the discharge petition, make good on your pro-life promise, and yeah, I want to know, either they signed yet? Oh, they did. Prideful it's not, because we're not doing so well right now, but I will say a discharge petition means if you get 50 of the 99 reps in the House, or you can do it in the Senate as well, you get 50 to sign, then you force a vote. They can't keep it in committee and stall and we'll wait. It forces a vote. I tell people the bad news is it's only happened one other time in history. The good news is when it happened successfully, we were the ones that did it. That was back in 1994 when we passed the nation's first ban on partial birth abortion. They said it couldn't be done because it had never been done. Bob Netzley said, I remember they tried that back in the 1970s, couldn't get enough signatures. We had people praying all over the state, and we did it, and that's what gave us the nation's first ban on partial birth abortion. And the reason, to me, the Heartbeat Bill matters so much is because it is crafted to be not just a regulation of how we kill children. It's crafted to be the arrow in the heart of Roe versus Wade with this current Supreme Court to bring the killing to an end. And the pro-aborts know it. They came to the committee and they said, this is going to end all abortions. There's not an abortion clinic that's going to stay open for 5% of their business. And I just sat there and nodded. That's right. That's what we're here to do. We want the killing to stop. And we want the leaders that we elected to do their jobs. You know, I was originally thinking we'd do a sit it out campaign and our logo is a lawn chair, but I don't want to affect all these guys we ran in the primaries, right? So we skip the Kasich. Now, a lot of people say he's going to win no matter what we do. That may be, and that's well and good. But if he ends up with television commercials on Fox, if he ends up with less votes than the auditor got, that's not going to do so well for his presidential aspirations. And so I think that no matter what, there needs to be accountability. That's why we're doing what we're doing. We have time for one more? One more question? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, this is what they said to me, too. They said, oh, you know, they could get it, and then we'll lose all these gains. I said, well, tell me what gains you're talking about. Big government, more spending. The Republicans do the same thing the Democrats do, only at a little bit of a slower pace. I'm tired of crumbs. And I'm tired of being told that I'm supposed to celebrate the budget that they passed, and they gutted our heartbeat bill and made it informed consent only, and I'm supposed to do cartwheels and tell them thank you, we'll vote for you? No. The only way I think we're going to see a change is if we do something different. I've been doing this a long time, and we... One final say. As I told the state rep, if this costs John Kasich the election, then he'll have no one but himself to blame. We're giving him a chance to do what we elected him to do. Thank you very much. God bless you.